Thank you so much for joining today, and we're so glad to be hosting this webinar for Earth Day.
The webinar aims to create a safer space where everyone feels equally valued. This is a space which foregrounds the collective voice and power and will welcome a wide range of diverse experiences, contexts and work. And just to note that by the term women, we mean those self-identifying with this gender. Although the focus of the webinar is on mountain women, we want to highlight the multiple and intersecting identities that are discriminated by the patriarchal system, including non-binary gender identities.
So as part of the Mountain Women of the World project, we are hosting this webinar for Earth Day, which is led from a transnational network of mountain women. Hopefully this will be a space for groups of mountain women, all of you guys from around the world, to share experiences and knowledge.
Mari kompuche, inche Mari linkañoni pingen, mapuche ta inche, tanilofche pangewinkul, warriamo el maitam. Hola a todos, me llamo Marilyn Cañillo, les decía que soy mapuche, pertenezco a una comunidad que se llama Cerro León. Esto está ubicado a 10 kilómetros de la localidad del Maitén. Bueno, pertenezco al movimiento de mujeres indígenas por el buen vivir también. Soy la quinta generación en este territorio. Es un territorio que mi familia habita ancestralmente. Más de 150 años estamos habitando y protegiendo y cuidando esta mapu, esta tierra. Si bien hoy yo puedo estar aquí hablando desde esta mapu, de este territorio, es gracias a mi antepasado, a mi Cuifique Cheyenne, quiere decir a mi gente antigua. Entonces, desde el movimiento de mujeres indígenas por el buen vivir, salimos a decir hoy, a caminar los territorios y a decir, basta de terricidio. Hay mujeres de distintas comunidades ya que han empezado a caminar hacia Buenos Aires, a la Futaguarría le decimos nosotros, a la gran ciudad, a donde las noticias, a donde los medios hegemónicos no llegan, o sea, nuestra voz no traspasa esos edificios. Entonces les vamos nosotros personalmente caminando desde las comunidades para decirle basta. Cuando hablamos de terricidio, estamos hablando de lo tangible y de lo espiritual, dañando las montañas, contaminando los ríos, cortando los bosques nativos. Están acabando con la vida, pero del mundo. No solamente nos afecta a las comunidades indígenas, a las mujeres que somos la primera línea porque somos las que estamos en el territorio, somos las que sufrimos constantemente hostigamiento, violencia, encarcelamiento. 25 de mayo va a haber una gran marcha en Buenos Aires para salir a defender la vida de la tierra.
Now I want to introduce Lidia, Elena, Ceci, Lita, and Dora. They are las cholitas escaladoras from Bolivia, La Paz.
Y les saludamos desde Bolivia.
Amigas, sí, yo un saludo desde Bolivia, desde aquí, desde la distancia.
Tataquechilas, Pachamama siempre.
Nuestro propósito como escaladoras es llevar mensajes donde vayamos. Y en esta ocasión el mensaje es de que cuidemos nuestras montañas, cuidemos nuestro medio ambiente.
Hello, my name is Ilekane Nzau, and I have experience of working in tourism for 8 years, and through my experience and the challenge I had, I created an organization of women which known as Kilimanjaro Women. Until now, we are 20 members in this organization, and all we are able to work as team in Kilimanjaro. We do a lot of action taking care of environment, like to collect the trash in the mountain. Also last year, me and other member women, we joined the Kilimanjaro National Park to stop the fire which was burning the Kilimanjaro forest. Really, I do love nature, and we have to love nature and take care of the environment, because even the environment take care of us. Thank you for watching.
In 1994, when we started Three Sister Adventure Trekking Company, or maybe guiding in the mountain by ourselves, and it was a new concept in our community to be a trekking guide. It was kind of cultural revolution. Conservative people were afraid of our initiation, but we continue our work, encouraging other women to join us to be trekking guide. We registered a company and an NGO in 1998-99, a social enterprise. Our nature is everything. We have to nurture our Mother Earth.
Dobbiamo farci promotori e fautori di comunità impegnati a mantenere intatta la cultura e la tradizione delle proprie montagne, in grado di ispirare ed educare il visitatore ad un approccio virtuoso e al rispetto dell'ambiente. Un approccio che non può essere quello massificante delle settimane bianche a Cortina o dei gittoni da 2 pullman, perché la posta, lo si capisca o no, è veramente troppo alta.
We are Travolution. We are the global community-based tourism network. We've been working since 2012, so we're almost 10 years old. And we've been working with community-based tourism development in different countries in Latin America, supporting different communities to improve their tourism activities or start their tourism activities as a complementary of their traditional works or activities they do in their communities.
To start, we would like to invite you all to write in the chat a few words about your connection with the mountains in any language you prefer. So talking about defending the earth, we foreground and honor the collective resistance of earth defenders across territories worldwide that resist to extractivism, racism, capitalism, neoliberalism, and all forms of oppression, dominance, and discrimination.
So protecting the mountains for us is intrinsically connected with building collective feminist leadership and power. In our work, we focus on doing this through mountaineering and feminist hiking as a way to reconnect with nature and with our inner and collective power.
Feminist leadership aims to profoundly transform the way that leadership and power are understood and practiced. It is at the heart of creating non-oppressive environments and transformative social change, and is necessary to build a just world for all nature.
We can only achieve transformation if we work together and if we focus on building our collective power, not seeking to be the best, not to climb the highest peak on our own, but rather building a diverse, plural expedition team where everyone has a role to play in an equally important way.
I'm really happy to be here. I could almost cry when it started. It was such a powerful way to see everyone on the screen from different places. I'm connecting from the Italian Alps, where I'm a mountain inhabitant, and I'm a founder of the Community Economies Laboratory. And at the moment in the laboratory, we're 12 people, and we collaborate with about 25 associations in our valley and beyond our own valley. And together as a group, we activate participatory and artistic ways of working to support the creation of economies which have the well-being of humans and the environment at their core. And we call this, what we do, community economies. We understand community economies as a feminist concept that has been developed by the Community Economies Collective, which in fact is a collective of feminist geographers, where we approach the economy as much more complex and diverse than what we read on the newspapers.
Around 10 years marketing our local handicraft products on international markets, participating on exhibitions and workshops. And this experience gave me impact to think about a group of women who can produce local products on sustainable development principles. 7 women were in our group on the beginning. Now we are 15 women from Barskon village in Vysyk region, Kyrgyzstan. The mountains allow you to enjoy the beauty of the world.
We have an initiative within the Mountain Partnership looking at promoting high quality mountain products. And we have been working so far in 12 countries with about 10,000 farmers, the majority of which were women.
Like our logo, the South Woman is a seeker, an adventurer, and a guide. Our logo is inspired by the Southern Cross constellation of stars, which is the brightest constellation in the Southern Hemisphere.
If you are mindful that we are all connected, that we are all one, this energy can be yours as well. We're all part of the whole. What are nature's gifts to us? One of the biggest gifts that nature has to give us is trees. Trees are the symbol of life. Trees are one of this world's greatest joys and blessings. They soar to the heavens. They stabilize the soil through their vast root systems. They are the largest oxygen-producing plants on the planet, and they blanket mountains, creating cloud forest reserves with wide varieties of biodiversity. Habitat and food. Trees provide beauty. They define areas by weaving their ancient branches and roots between moss and lichen-covered rocks. They provide us and remind us about stillness, that no matter where the storm rises from, remain still. And lastly, a sense of gratitude. Trees evoke gratitude and humility, and when in blossom can fragrance the air for miles.
En primer lugar, ¿qué significa para nosotras defender la tierra en este webinar hoy, del Día de la Tierra? Significa proteger a nuestra madre, aquí, ahora y para las generaciones futuras, esas pequeñas acciones cotidianas del día a día que contribuyen sobre todo a crear conciencia.
Bueno, nuestra propuesta es inclusiva. Esto significa que brindamos un enfoque integral. Es decir, en tanto el apoyo emocional, la seguridad y los servicios logísticos, y también un trabajo interno.
I got inspired that being in the mountaineering, we are going to the mountains and we are spoiling the mountains, because the time when I climbed the mountain, that time nobody was very serious about keeping the Himalaya clean and not spoiling the Himalaya. So I got this, that we have to do something for the betterment of the Mother Earth, the Himalaya, the crown of India. So I concentrated in particularly one area that is a part of Uttarakhand. This is known as the Gangotri Gomuk Himalaya. And it is, the height of the Gangotri is 3,700 meters, and Gangotri Glacier is 28 kilometers long. We raised the nursery of birch trees because this altitude is only conducive for the birch trees, birch species. So we raised the plant nursery at Chirbasa, which is around 3,750 meters.
And the UAA is really about promoting the spirit and traditions of mountaineering and climbing. And the Mountain Protection Commission itself has been put together within the UAA precisely to work towards those particular activities and principles that we need to adhere to when practicing mountaineering.
So now that we have reviewed mountain threats and how mountaineers and hikers can also affect mountain ecosystem, how can we mitigate these threats? Well, one of the best known practices include the Leave No Trace that provide 7 principles on how to mitigate our impacts including planning ahead our travel, packing out our garbage and our human waste. And Carolina just mentioned that they are also promoting this through the International Mountaineering Association, traversing in designated trails, as well as doing fires in designated campsites. In addition to this, we can minimize biological invasions by cleaning before our trail and at the end of our trail, our socks and equipment. And there are a couple of programs nowadays, for example, in British Columbia and in Australia, that they are promoting these practices.
None of the guide that I've hired in the past or the mountaineering instructor that I had ever told me about the impact I can generate in the alpine environment with a simple activity such as hiking. And my aim with this presentation is to bring the attention to the fundamental educational role mountain guides must have with their clients. I would also like to underline that the need for each guide to be curious, sensitive, and willing to be educated in the first place about environmental conservation and leave no trace practices.
I came from Mongolia. I am going for mountaineering since 1967, more than 50 years. I think important is education, to give a good education to young students.
Changing our relationship with nature and especially the climate change battle will never be won if we just conceive our action in terms of energy transition and cutting emissions, which of course is important, but is only part of the narrative and the actions we should take. The land, the preservation of the land, the restoration of the land, the giving back the land is extremely important and is part of the full picture. It's the system that has to change. So thank you very much. And I really hope to see you in the mountains soon.
So today we are really excited to also launch an initiative calling for action on collective mountain protection as part of the project Leave No Trace month of May. And you can sign up to this by visiting www.mountainwomenoftheworld.org.
Yeah, I hope to keep in contact with everyone, and please, as Ria said, feel free to email us and connect further. But yeah, thank you.